Hi Gemini, welcome to the full moon in Aquarius reading for August 19th, 2024. Full moons close out cycles. We are in the midst of some difficult astrological situations, if you will. There's a lot of tension, there's a lot of planetary activity, and it's tense. However, it does offer up solutions, and I think that's why we have tension, right? If you think about the number five, it's to find balance. It pushes us, it's this instability that helps us to find and look for balance in a situation. And you seem to find it. You have, as the direction that this reading is going in, is number six, spirit. Family, friends, and colleagues. However, it did come up reversed. So we'll have to look at that. But I have to say that I've done two other readings prior to this, right? So Aries and Taurus, and now you, Gemini, and they've all come under the category of spirit. So I do feel like we have some help from beyond, whatever that may be. But there does seem to be something higher happening here, something a little more ethereal. So when this card is reversed, it's a more emphatic announcement or the about the arrival or the presence of an important guide in your life. And this can be a guide that is about your talent or past life, any kind of guide actually. But it can also be, people, because this is family, friends, and guides. But reversed, it is kind of saying that this is more on the guide side. So it could be somebody who passed away from family or friends. But it is asking you to open up to some really important guidance that's available to you right now. Whether you're working on a project, then maybe a talent guide would come your way. So whatever the situation is, the guide comes to kind of match it. And you also have, a personal guide who's always whispering to you, or in any case, this card really asks you to open up to a powerful presence. And you may even get a sense or a feeling that someone is around you. Now, Gemini is a very earthy energy, although it is air. It is the lower mind because it deals with the material, the things of the earth. That's not a negative thing, it's a very practical thing. But I know that they're very good with you. You guys are really good with communication and words, and writing is a particularly good skill of Gemini. In fact, in the tarot, for me, the King of Pentacles is associated with Gemini, and he's the master of the material world, or is mastering the material world. So there can be something along that line too that you're busy dealing with, and you have some help. Number six is the card of balance. I'm sorry, the frequency of balance, the number of balance. It's about adjustment, and it's about the ability to discern both the higher and the lower. So to bring things into harmony. Six is about harmony. Okay? So let's see what the tarot has to say about this. The first column is where you find yourself at the time of the full moon, number five. And or if you are actively, consciously ending a cycle, you'll find that information here. The second set of cards is you, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you're doing, what you're worried about, that kind of thing. Now, like I said, this is a tense period, but with solution. That's its purpose. Okay. And the last set of cards is the probable outcome. Probable because some things we can change if we have the right information, and some things we are meant to experience. And I have a feeling that whatever alignments, planetary alignments are going on, we are meant to experience this, this laborious labor pains, right? Okay, so let's have a look here. Well, we have a few people. Couple of interesting. Okay, so you have a couple of cards that indicate internal growth, right? This is usually about the spiritual, the internal. The minor arcana are about the physical realm, the mundane, and then you have a couple of court cards. But you do have 2 air, and so that's a lot of mental activity and possibly some physical activity, action that is being taken or needing to be taken. That 5 of the Hierophant is big organizations. It is tradition. It is so 5 is about the need to understand the material as well as the spiritual, to extract truth from a situation. And this is, I would say, both, because it is about the spiritual, but it's a very man-made spiritual. So it's like religion, right? Tradition. It's not necessarily the spiritual truths, but it is the truths that we created in this reality, in this third dimensional realm on this planet. It is my no card. So I find that interesting with the Two of Swords, because the Two of Swords is the moon in Libra, and it is the necessity to make a decision. Now, I always think of these two as like a scissor, and the need to cut something off. The problem is that Libra weighs both sides and can see both sides of a situation. And so it can be very difficult sometimes to make that decision. However, because I have the Hierophant, either you may receive a no answer or you may give a no answer. But for me, the Hierophant is no. It's my no card. So you may be leaning towards that, or somebody else may be leaning towards a no answer here. It's for somebody, it's possible that you were proposed to and you gave a no answer, or got a no answer. That's also possible for somebody here, because I see marriage, worry, and choices, the Lovers. So that's a possibility for somebody, not everybody, obviously. Or maybe you fear a no answer. That's also possible. Okay, so now we have a little grounding here. This can be in a work situation. The Eight of Pentacles is removing any distraction and just getting the job done. 8 is a very empowering number. It's powerful. It is the ability to carry out an action. And 8 is seeing the situation, being carried out. So it can be that the Hierophant is a group or an organization. That can be schools, the place you work at, the government, hospitals, any big organization or small organization for that matter. But it's organized and it's traditional. And perhaps they can be looking at making cuts of some sort, whether that's financial or people. But there can be some layoffs or some cuts for some. Again, it's a general reading, so it's not everybody. And this can also bring worry. So maybe they are considering it and you're working very hard so as not to be that. Or they made cuts and you have to work extra hard because of it. That's also possible here. Eight of Pentacles is a healthy wallet, but it is also physical health, a good physical health. So perhaps you are making a decision. Some of you can be making a decision to cut out some bad things to create better health. And it could even be better mental health. Okay. All right. So the center card here, and I know Gemini are usually very, again, they're the King of Pentacles, so they can be overworking themselves. And that may bring about a health situation, or you're tired or whatever, or you just need a break. That's also possible here. Because that Nine of Swords is a worry. It's a thought that kind of gets away from you and creates a life of its own, and it just keeps going over and over and over in your head. And so this card asks you to do something very physical. So that Eight of Pentacles, right? It asks you to do something very physical to get you out of your head. However, also on another level here, he's under a blanket of stars, and so the planets have a lot to do with what's going on in your situation right now. Try not to take on too much of the tension or too much of the burden, if possible, because as the planets change, so will the situation. You're behaving like a King of Wands, which is associated with Aries for me. So this is a very, it's a hot-headed energy. We want to be careful of that. It's explosive, right? It's fiery. But it's also a trailblazer. And it's also somebody who, so Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. They have no one to compare themselves to. So they're the first, right? And the first to go in. They're also the child, right? The baby of the zodiac. And so sometimes that's why you can have those explosive kind of tantrum energies at this time, and maybe that tension is sort of building up, and you can have that kind of temper tantrum or an explosive situation. You want to be careful of that. But also trailblazing and the first to go in. They're adventurous. They're not afraid. Okay. I have the Ten of Cups with that. This is a very, this is the card of having faith. This is the couple from the Two of Cups that have grown and matured through the evolution of their emotions. So I do feel like even though this is a very mental energy, the King of Wands can get a bit of an emotional explosion. However, be careful because this is sort of negatively aspected for me. Be careful of seeing things through rose-colored glasses. Again, with that King of Wands, they can have some naivety, right? Because they're trailblazers. They don't know what they're walking into. But also, this is Mars and Pisces. And so Mars is a very fiery energy, and the King of Wands is associated with Aries, which is their planet is Mars, and Pisces kind of throws water on the flame, if you will, right? It kind of dampens that spirit a little bit. Um, it's the card of shirking your responsibilities in a negative aspect, right? It's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's the happy family, it's whatever. But when it's negatively aspected, it can be shirking your responsibilities. Maybe you call in sick one day, and maybe you need to because of that Nine of Swords, right? It's just sort of like, all right. But it can be that, I find it interesting because here we're working very hard. But again, the idea of this, the negative side of the Ten of Cups, Mars and Pisces, is it's sort of like, well, you know what, I need a day off and I'm just going to call in sick, or I'm going to take a weekend away and just, let the lawn go. I know I have to paint the house. I'm going to let that go. It doesn't have to be that negative or bad. It can just be a moment where we're like, I need a break. And in the herbal deck, the Ten of Cups is cannabis, right? So it's kind of like I need to get away from my thoughts, from my situation. I need a break. I need Pisces, right? I need to escape. It's escapism, okay? I'm going to pull one more for this. And again, general reading. So, I mean, we could be feeling a little bit of both, right? But you're worried about something. So for me, yeah. Oh, we could be self-critical. We're really hard on ourselves, Gemini. And maybe even harsh with others, or maybe somebody's been harsh with you. And I got to be honest with you. You could use a break. So I wouldn't take this as a negative thing. I would take it as take a weekend away, call in sick, have a day for yourself. But whatever you do, don't sit and stew in your own thinking. Do something, right? Go whitewater rafting or swimming, because it is Mars and Pisces. Maybe you need to get into some water. You need to get out of your head. That's for sure. Okay? All right. Now, the outcome. You have some choices here with the Lover's card. It used to be called the Choice card. And, okay. Um, this is somebody who cut somebody off quite easily. She has a sword in her hand, and in another deck that I have, she has a man's severed head in her hands. So she can be critical, she can be self-critical, but she can also be really decisive action in cutting something off. And remember, I have that Two of Swords here with the scissor action. So there's a choice. There's a choice that we need to make. This is three choices, or the three stages of love. The male version, see the fiery, passionate tree behind him, is your passion, is your lust, right? Then the second stage of love, or a second stage of love, is the motherly love. Love for your children, love for your partner, love for your home, love for your country, a romantic love. And then you have the highest form of love, which is compassion. Okay? And that is actually what this person would most likely choose. This is associated with Scorpio. The Queen of Cups is associated with Scorpio for me. However, Scorpio also has that kind of sexuality, and so it can have to do with any three of these. Um, and I guess, yeah, I guess it could go all three ways with this Queen of Cups. Um, a higher Queen of Cups would choose for compassion. But there is choice there. And so what the Queen of Cups is, and this is probably somebody in your atmosphere, somebody you're dealing with, maybe somebody you have to choose from. That's also possible. But they can be round in features. They are emotional type of people. They can also be very caring, but they can be a little bit too socked into their emotion. Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, or just somebody who's behaving very emotional. A focus on their emotion. Okay. And a Page of Pentacles. So this can be a choice. Page of Pentacles is associated with Capricorn for me. These are people who have possibly just learned something, and they're very anxious to show the world what they have, but they want to apply what they've learned. They are people who are, so Capricorn is half goat, half fish. So they have that very earthy quality, right? Because it's an earth sign. But they have the very emotional side of themselves too, the watery side. They are people who feel very deeply, but often have times difficult, like a Capricorn, often have difficulty in getting the words out, in expressing it. And a new beginning, a new passionate beginning. It's not emotional, it is passionate. It can be inspirational. It can be stuff that the dreams are made of with the Ace of Wands. And interestingly enough, this is my autumn timing card. So we're coming up on the fall here, and after these 2 weeks, we should be at the beginning of autumn. And something new begins for you. So you see, through all this tension, through all this difficulty, through this laborious planetary aspects, something new comes from it. Something new springs from it, and it's something passionate and fiery, and creates a spark inside. Okay, I feel like I have to take a deep breath after that. All right. I hope this has been helpful. It ends very positively, and there is choice that you make, but it does set you on a new expressive path, and the work that you put into it, right, really pays off. Thank you for listening. I hope this has helped. I wish you the best of luck through this period. We will get through it together, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you for listening. Take good care. Bye for now.